Welcome back to my channel. Here's your news report, stimulus check update, and stimulus package update for Wednesday, January 27th. In this video, I will be sharing the latest stimulus news with you, including the status of the $2,000 stimulus checks. How President Joe Biden just launched a major lobbying campaign to build support for his $1.9 trillion stimulus relief package, and how President Joe Biden is responding to Republican concerns. I am giving away $50 Amazon gift card. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe, like this video, and comment below. President Joe Biden's administration has launched a major offensive as it tries to build support for his proposed $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package. While Republican lawmakers have largely balked at the massive price tag, President Biden's press secretary Jen Psaki told reporters, "The president and vice president are engaging directly with members of Congress and have had a number of productive conversations that will continue and pick up in the days ahead." She detailed the all-out effort that has consumed the White House during Joe Biden's first week in office. Jen Psaki said, "Senior White House officials are also engaging with, not just congressional leaders, but also state and local officials, constituency groups and others to gather feedback on the proposal. I am happy to hear that White House officials are working their hardest to pass more relief for the American people." Biden counselor Steve Ricchetti and Legislative Affairs Director Louisa Terrell, who's known for her deal-making prowess during the Obama administration, are quarterbacking the broad legislative push, Psaki said. According to Psaki, they are holding dozens of conversations with members to understand their priorities and receive their feedback, she added. The president's chief of staff, Ron Klain, and senior advisor Anita Dunn have also spent recent days talking directly to U.S. House members and senators. The National Economic Council, the Domestic Policy Council and staff from the Treasury Department have met with key House and Senate committees this week. Director Brian Deese has held one-on-one meetings and gatherings with several caucuses, and Biden's COVID czar, Jeff Zients, has joined the effort. "It's a top priority for President Biden," Psaki said. "I am hoping that lawmakers will pass more relief this week." Congress passed a $2.2 trillion relief package last March and a $900 billion follow-up last month. But Biden and Democratic leaders in Congress want more money and programs to address continuing needs during the pandemic and shore up the economy. So President Joe Biden's plan calls for additional funding for vaccines and testing, more healthcare workers and other recovery measures, including safely reopening schools. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters that she expects the next relief package will hit the House floor in early February for debate, which is really soon. But the amount the federal government has already spent in response to the pandemic has prompted some Republicans in Congress to voice opposition to the scope of Biden's proposal. In less than 1 year, Congress has spent $3.4 trillion on direct relief aid and nearly doubled the entire federal budget, Senator Pat Toomey, a Pennsylvania Republican who is on the Budget and Finance committees, said in a statement. Blasting out another $2 trillion in borrowed or printed money, when the ink on December's $1 trillion aid bill is barely dry and much of the money is not yet spent, would be a colossal waste and economically harmful. I do not agree with Senator Pat Toomey. Millions of Americans are struggling right now. Lawmakers need to put the American people first. Senator Susan Collins, who was among more than a dozen lawmakers who took part in a bipartisan call with Deese over the weekend, also isn't convinced that the $1.9 trillion package is appropriate. "While I support prompt additional funding for vaccine production, distribution, and vaccinators, and for testing, it seems premature to be considering a package of this size and scope," the Maine Republican said in a statement after the call. Following the briefing, "It was not clear to me how the administration came up with its $1.9 trillion figure." Psaki said a large public opinion campaign is aimed at constituents to try to build support for Biden's package proposal. "This isn't just about speaking to elected officials. It's also about speaking to the country and building support and educating and engaging with leaders across the country," she said. That effort has included overtures to governors, civil rights groups, labor leaders, youth advocacy groups and others, Psaki said. "Our team continues to build support for the American Rescue Plan, as more and more voices across the country recognize the urgent need to get American families the help they need," she said. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer's week-long fight over the filibuster is over, but another larger battle over President Joe Biden's legislative agenda looms on the horizon. The two Senate leaders are currently finalizing an agreement to reorganize the Senate, now split evenly 50-50, and to begin work under the new administration after Democrats took the majority last Wednesday. Both sides have declared themselves winners in the filibuster feud. After being relegated to Minority Leader, McConnell had pressed Schumer to promise to preserve the filibuster, a legislative tool that Senate Republicans can use to delay or block bills brought forth by Democrats unless a 60-vote threshold is met. The Kentucky Republican had asked Schumer to provide him with a written pledge not to touch the filibuster, though he dropped the demand after two Democratic senators, Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona, assured him they have no intentions to kill the filibuster. Schumer said McConnell's move was a win for Democrats because he had not met the minority leader's demand. The New York Democrats said the party is now able to assume proper control of the Senate and get to work on Biden's promises. "I'm glad the Republican leader finally relented and we can move forward now to organize the Senate, set up committees, chairs and ranking members, and a process for moving bills and nominees to the floor," Schumer said Tuesday. "I'm glad we're finally able to get the Senate up and running. My only regret is that it took so long because we have a great deal we need to accomplish over the next several weeks and months." The partisan fight over the filibuster put the Senate on pause and prevented Democrats from bringing Biden's key priorities, including his proposed $1.9 trillion stimulus package, to the negotiating table. "Maybe a couple of months from now, the needs will be evident and we will need to do something significant, but I'm not seeing it right now," Susan Collins of Maine told Insider last week. Bernie Sanders has suggested using a tool called budget reconciliation to bypass the 60-vote filibuster requirement and push through legislation with a simple majority of 51. Vice President Kamala Harris would be the tie-breaking vote. There are roadblocks, however, to using budget reconciliation or any other maneuver to pass legislation without Republican participation. McConnell on Tuesday warned that if the filibuster is overridden, his party will reverse every Democratic policy whenever they take back Congress. "If this majority went scorched earth, this body would grind to a halt like we've never seen," he said. "Taking that plunge would not be some progressive dream. It would be a nightmare. I guarantee it." Democrats could instead use their majority to carry out their priorities and skip working with Republicans altogether, but only if the party is able to agree on an agenda. With the Democratic caucus consisting of moderates such as Manchin and Sinema alongside progressives like Sanders, achieving that goal could be a challenge. "I honestly think Democrats should use the reconciliation process." That is the end of the video. Please subscribe, like this video, and comment below for more daily stimulus update videos.